right now, right now. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Debsterism channel that you're on here on YouTube. What we do is on Tuesdays is the what the fuck Tuesday relationship advice column. People send in their questions in advance. My cousin collects them, puts them into a document for me. I read the questions and then I answer them off the cuff. I was already warned that we have 26 questions today. So those of you who keep track, 26. 26. That's two and a six. Okay. That's a lot. I hope my voice holds up. But I want to thank everybody for coming and your usual support. I see a lot of the usuals in the chat room already and a couple of new names. And I'm sure that as we go on, more and more people will show up. It's that time where, a lot of people are still commuting and trying to get there. So they may be listening in and not necessarily in the chat room, just listening. So we welcome them as well. I want to, before we get started, let me just do a little plug for the show. I told you the other day that this is National Teen Dating Week. I don't think it's been really that promoted, but whatever. I saw it on the calendar somewhere. So what I wanted to do was a lot of things I've been thinking about and questions that have been coming in from both teens and parents and posts on the wall and on my Facebook and everything. And what I wanted to do was kind of consolidate all of that information and those responses that I would be giving into one show. And so what I wanted to do was, just have a sit down with the parents of teens and some teens themselves, and that would be this Thursday. Okay, this Thursday at 4:30 p.m., which is a little earlier than I usually start. But I wanted to, kind of get this going, give us some extra time, answer some questions for the parents who really, they're going to be sending these kids into high school and college this fall. And a lot of them are just not ready. They're not ready for the games. And so I wanted to talk about what you can do as a parent, a step parent, an aunt, a cousin, a big sister, whatever you are, a dad, a brother, whatever your role is in a young teen's life, what you can do and say to them to get them ready so they don't end up making stupid mistakes. I mean, they're going to make some, but we don't want them to make the most stupid ones that hurt them over a long period of time or which they may never recover from. Okay. That's going to be the goal. You can't stop people from, doing stupid stuff, but we're going to try to mitigate that as much as we can. And part of that is going to be educating the parents because I tell you, so many of y'all, I want to line you up and slap you Three Stooges style because you don't do what you should be doing for your girls, especially your girls. And you send them away to high school and college to deal with these rogue fools, and they are just like a lamb being led to slaughter. They don't know anything, and you haven't taught them anything. You haven't taught them any game. Their self-esteem is shaky. They have all these weird ideas about men and love and romance, and so we're going to get real down and dirty and nitty gritty. And I'm gonna be telling them some factual stuff. And if you're a sensitive type, a parent, then this might not be the show for you. But I do want to advise you if you have a question or some issue that's come up in conversation, something you've heard teens talk about, and you would like to get that, out in the air for them, please write to me. Send the question to survivingdating@gmail.com and make the subject line of your email Teen Dating Show. Okay, I will be accepting responses up until 4 o'clock when the show starts at 4:30. So, think about it, get your question in. I will try to answer as many of them, address as many issues as you present. Okay, so let's get started on today's show, which is Tuesday, June 22nd, and we have 26 questions. Shay will be posting in there for those of you who want to try to submit a question. Look in the chat room, look in the show description down below, and do what you need to do. But she'll be posting reminders for those coming in that missed this intro. So question number one, this is from a young man in the 22 to 25 age group from Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'm 25, 25, and a decent, successful guy, I think. I have a master's degree and I'm a PhD candidate. I'm an accomplished guitar player. I'm a published writer. Wow. While also having more typically manly skills like hunting agriculture experience, raising crops and animals, fishing, basic car maintenance, etc. Okay, so you know some dude stuff. Good for you. Yet I cannot for the life of me get a date, let alone a girlfriend. It's been this way my entire life. The first girl I ever asked out said, "Ew, gross, no," and slapped me. I was always told you're husband material and I'm just looking to have fun right now. But now I'm at the age where being a virgin and never having an SO is a huge red flag. My cousins and sister are all engaged or married, and I can't even get a dinner date. I'm obese, and I know that doesn't help at all, but I'm still a good man, I think. I also have Asperger's, so I can come off as weird or creepy without meaning to. It also leads me to being excessively knowledgeable about weird things, and I know that's a turnoff to women. Auntie Deb, am I doomed to be single forever? Am I just too ugly to ever be desirable? Is my age a red flag as well? Thanks for reading and stay safe. Ann Arbor, Michigan. I wish I knew more about that part of the country. That's an area, a state. Michigan, I have never been to Michigan. I've been to all other states, but not to Michigan. Well, there's probably a couple others I haven't been to, too. Rhode Island is one, and Vermont. I haven't been up there. Um, I'm going to say this, the things that you listed as being that, make you a decent, successful guy, they do socially, but they aren't anything that would make a woman want to be with you like in a relationship. The things that you're looking at, these are all external things, things that you do, things that could be, I don't know, put on a resume or something. You know what I mean? When you're looking at getting into a relationship, a woman is going to be looking for what you bring to her life on a personal level. And that means, does she find you romantic? Does she find you thoughtful, courteous, polite? Do you have her back? Are you able to anticipate her needs and meet them? Are you kind, generous, thoughtful? That kind of stuff. Are you consistent? Are you dependable? Are you expressive with your feelings? Those are the kind of things that would make a woman be drawn to you and want to be in a relationship with you. And I understand that, having Asperger's, those trying to recognize and develop those traits in yourself is going to be a challenge. I understand it. I'm not faulting you. But it's good that you recognize that's your, that puts that makes a certain challenge for you that is other people might not have. So what I'm gonna suggest is look around in your community and see if there's any kind of organization, kind program or something like that that works with people that have Asperger's that will help you develop better social skills. Usually they do have things like that, like, maybe even through social services. Call and ask them if they know anything and start your hunt that way. And then there may be like some psychologist or some social workers or therapists of some sort that have a group that where they do that kind of thing. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas, but I think that's what you need. And then by working with people in a similar situation and working with people who have decided that they can help people with your problem, it will help you get over this hump. Now, as far as the obesity, that you're right, that does not help because a woman wants to have a guy that she looks at and thinks is sexy. Just like you guys like to look at us and think the same thing. There's no difference there. But dude, if you're a hunter and you can do all this stuff, you can start jogging. Okay? You can start doing push-ups, you can do pull-ups, you can do squats, you can do lunges, you can do these things with body weight. You can do jump squats, leaping lunges. You don't necessarily have to have a weight bench, but for what you're wanting to start doing is toning up and getting rid of some of that fat. Okay? It's going to help your chances. I have a fuzz on my lip. It's going to help your chances a lot. So that's what I would suggest, okay? Start looking for some YouTube videos, and you can do the exercises right there in your house with the people. Body weight stuff. Look for some Tabata routines. That's Tabata. Okay, and see and get yourself started and get your body together, and then like I said, investigate some kind of group therapy sessions, training, consulting, whatever you want to call it, that can help you get over this hump. But I'm glad you wrote. Okay, I'm trying to give you a little hope and let you know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but it's not going to be easy for you. All right, I'm not going to even lie to you. Well, he sounds like he has good character. He just has, that Asperger thing, which is, I understand because I've met people like that, some dudes, and they start talking about odd stuff and they want to drone on and on about it. And you just be kind of looking at them like, okay, does this guy read the social clues that nobody's interested in the mating habits of the, XYZ moth that lives in Australia or something? I mean, he's going to be talking about that because it interests him, but everybody else is looking at him like you're a weirdo. Okay, that's what I want you to be able to get develop skills so that you can recognize those kinds of expressions in body language. And most people with Asperger's are just so clueless they don't see it. But it would help you a lot, especially dealing with women. All right, let's move on to question number 2. Let me get a swig of my beverage here. All right. She's a female, 22 to 25, from Covina, California. This may seem like a stupid question, but I was raised rather sheltered and I don't know much about dating and romance. Can you tell me what are the best places to touch a guy when you're kissing him? Okay, now everybody who's going to respond to this question in the chat, watch your language. We're trying to keep this so it doesn't get flagged, okay? So use PG language when you're talking about where to touch a man while you're kissing him. Um, I think most women tend to traditionally wrap their arms around the guy's neck. He puts his hands around her waist or back, but something, but he pulls her in and she, hugs into him that way. Another thing I like to do is, like touch him, like, you grab his, some guys have real sensitive ears. So you grab him by his ears and, you kind of like the lobe of the ears, you kind of gently stroke those as you kiss him. Guaranteed rocket fires and light works and fireworks and all that kind of stuff. Holding him by his cheek or the side of his head is good. Some guys to determine that to be a little bit more, I don't know, assertive, aggressive. So you have to know your man's personality. Some of them don't like that. They want to feel like they're they want to hold your face. They want to be the more dominant appearing one. I don't know, whatever. Um, And then, just use your imagination. It depends, are you sitting on his lap? Are you sitting side by side? Are you walking? Are you, I don't know, lying down on the floor? Are you standing against the wall? I mean, there's all kind of physical positions that you could be in that would dictate what would make sense of where, where to touch the guy. But that's all I'm going to say of that. No, you're not going to say that, Smiley. Well, at least she used a euphemism, but okay, I'll let that one slide. But um, this is a young lady who says she doesn't have much. She's grew up sheltered and she doesn't know about much about dating and romance. I doubt she's gonna go there, Smiley. She's she's not gonna do that. So I'm trying to tell her some, more some kind of places where she could touch him in a way that, she could do it like on the street or in public place and not humiliate either one of them and not look like, they, so people will be walking around talking about, get a room. We don't want that. Okay. So those are some ideas. Okay. Try some of those when you get an opportunity and see how it goes. Right back. Let me know. Let's move on to question number 3. This is a young man in the 22 to 25 age group from Atlanta. Oh, God. For transparency, I posted this on Reddit, but then a friend told me about your Black and Single page over there, and I wanted to get your take on my situation. I had an SO for 9 months, and she was identifying as a woman back then. Everything was amazing. We barely argued, and we used to talk all day long and shit. I thought it would last forever and stuff. You can tell he's young. For the past almost 2 months, my ex SO went through a depressive episode. They didn't want to let me know at the time, but after a few weeks since they started feeling down, they came out to me by not being happy being a woman. At first, I was as supportive and accepting as I could be, thinking nothing would really change besides their pronouns. But slowly, they started acting and looking more and more masculine. I am a straight male, and every masculine taste she got was making me uncomfortable. It made me upset, and I tried my best to hide it, But they found out eventually and tried to stop the transition. I didn't want it to let that happen. I still love them so much and I want to discover themselves and be happy, even if it means I have to get out of the way. Earlier today, I came out about it to them and wanted to break up. I did it over text since I didn't have the courage to call her. It was weak. They were really dry about it, and to sum it up, then replied along the lines of, okay, cool, I agree, let's do that. I feel so ashamed of my actions, but I can't change them. I don't even want to try. I want them to be happy with themselves. I can't change myself either, so it is what it is. My questions are this: was this breakup a good idea? Am I a homophobe? Phobe, I think that's what he meant. Transphobe for doing so? How do I get over this? Because I've been crying for several hours now. Oh, I miss her, and I just want everything to go back to everything was perfect, and we were so happy. It's an unfortunate turn of events, but I knew there had to be a catch. There's no such thing as perfect relationships. I know all that. Let me close by thanking you for accepting my letter, Deb and Candace. My spirits are way down, and I need to talk to someone about this, but I don't really have anyone to talk to in real life. My ex was all I had. Please help me figure this out. Oh, my heartstrings. You yanking at my heartstrings, you poor thing. First, let me assure you, before I even go into what's going on with her, let me assure you that it was an excellent idea for you to end that because you are a straight man. You want to date a woman that wants to be with a straight man. Since you are a straight man, you don't want to be with a woman who looks, acts, talks, walks, and calls herself a man. How is that going to work? You would be sacrificing yourself every single day for her to be happy. And life is you too young for that. Life shouldn't be like that. That's not right. And so you did exactly the right thing, and you should have done it right away. Like as soon as she announced that's what she wanted to do, you should have been like, "Well, I don't intend to date nobody that's want to call himself herself Rollo and walk around like a dude. So I'm out." Boop. Okay, and I wouldn't have been mad at you for even for that. I mean, like within 10 minutes of her breaking that news story, that's what it should have been what you did. Like immediately gone. So, are you a transphobe for doing so? Absolutely not. What this phobia means irrational fear of. If you look at any dictionary, that's what it's going to explain. So you don't have a fear of anything. You just don't want that shit in your life. And I think a lot of people just don't understand that. They want to hurl those insults at somebody who doesn't want to accept their weird, freaky proclivities. And it's like, look, nobody has to decide to be with you because that's what you want to do. That's great for you if that's what you want to do. But you cannot force other people to accept it. Okay, and that's the part where they get confused and they start trying to guilt trip people with all these negative labels. And so, me, I just don't give a shit. So I'm happy that you stood true to your own needs, your values, your morals, what you want in life. You want to have a woman who wants to be a woman, to be with you, to date you, to marry you, to have your kids, to raise your kids together, to be grandparents together. You want a woman who is heterosexual and very clear about what her path is, not all confused, jumping fences right and left. So I don't have any problem with what you did and how you did it. Now, don't be thinking that this has anything to do with being a perfect relationship. You can have a perfect relationship, just not with her, because she don't know what she wants. She don't even know if she want to be a man or a woman. And just, for record, she can't never change that. She's going to always be a woman, no matter what she looks like and what shot she takes. She's going to still be a woman. But, she's trying to deny it for some reason, and that I don't understand. So let me, and also say, with her, um, it's unfortunate that there's so many young people getting caught up on this fad because that's all it is. It's a fad. Just like when people was getting belly button piercings and people was getting nose rings and people was getting them piercings in their eyebrows or getting the lines in their eyebrows and all that kind of stuff. Those are fads. Okay, and it's the same thing with this I'm gonna be a man, I'm gonna be a woman shit. And it's just trickling down to teenagers. And I'm gonna be talking about that on Thursday too. How what parents can do, if their kids come to them tell them I want to be a boy. Your daughter say I want to be a boy, and your son say I want to be a girl. As you can tell, I'm not in favor of that. Um, yeah, and don't say you were weak because you broke over text. Whether you broke up over a text or sent a smoke signal or wrote a message in the sky with an airplane or told her to her face or said on the phone, it's the same result. You're not going to be with her because she's confused about what she wants to be and you don't want no parts of it. So good job. Exactly. Question number 4, female 26 to 29 from Lufton in the UK. I'm looking for help figuring out why I can't just say no and stick to it. Oh no, this is terrible. What'd she say? Oh, I met a guy in September. I didn't really care for him, so I used the excuse that I was scared of getting COVID. He is around a lot of people, whereas I isolated. I am severely immunocompromised due to a liver kidney transplant. Whoa, a little over a year ago. He got vaccinated so he could see me, so I felt I was obligated to see him again. He came over to my house and started looking in every room and closet. He loves my house and hinted about moving in because he currently shares a place with others. I don't want anyone in my house, and I told him so. Now he's calling every day wanting to see me. He doesn't listen to anything I say, and I can't carry on a conversation to save his soul. What is he hiding? He doesn't offer any information about himself and hesitates answering direct questions. How do I get rid of him? Oh my God, you done got yourself into a big ass mess. I don't like him and I dread him even calling. What the hell is wrong with me? I don't want to be mean because I know he is struggling, but I just want him gone. And now he knows where I live. I know I was an idiot. No one gets in my door, though. I have a camera and an alarm system. Please advise. Okay. First of all, don't you ever do no shit like this again. You do not meet some clown, the clown that you don't even like, and then let him come to your house. No men come to my house. None. I don't give a fuck how much I like them. This is my house. It's for me and only me. You can't come here. It's off limits to you. And you need to have that kind of attitude. Okay. Now, as far as him not offering any information about himself and wanting to move in and all that stuff, this sounds like a narc to me. It's somebody trying to set you up to use you and all kind of stuff. So what you're gonna do is you're going to lie. Since you don't seem to be good at standing up for yourself, you're going to have to resort to the lying tactics. And you're going to tell him that you're getting together with your ex, getting back together with your ex, and for him not to call you anymore because it's going to cause a problem. Thanks, it was nice knowing him, and goodbye. That's what you're going to do. Okay. And then when you do that, you're going to block him. You're going to block him wherever the site was you met him. You're going to block him on social media. You're going to block him on your phone. You're going to block him on your email. You're going to do everything in your power to keep this man away from you. Okay? Yeah. He's just a dusty old bum. And I'm glad you have all these security measures in place. Because dude is very. Did you tell him that you had all these immunocompromised things so it's like you're kind of sickly? Did you tell him that? And don't feel like he got a shot for you. He got a shot because he wanted a shot. That didn't have shit to do with you. Because, being in love with somebody and liking somebody and all that, and then getting that shot is two completely different things. Because I'm not getting it. I don't care. And anybody who don't want to date me because of it, good for you. So when you start growing an eye out your forehead, don't say nothing to me about it. And your kids have 6 arms and shit, don't say nothing to me. Because you shouldn't have been a lab rat experiment for a drug company. Now, I said it. Somebody was upset because I said, you shouldn't be telling people not to get the shot. I'm not telling people not to get the shot. I'm telling you why I'm not getting the shot. Okay? There's a difference. You do what you want to. That's your body. That's your health, your life, everything. That don't have nothing to do with me. But people ask me, well, why why are you getting it? Nope. Well, why not? And then I tell them. So, he might, she got a compromised immune system. He might give her something way different other than that. Shut up, Tracy. But I'm like, mm-mm. So that's what you're going to do, okay? And then just hang up and block them. So that's your out, all right? Question number 5. This is a male in the 18 to 21 age group from Hamilton, New Zealand. I have liked this girl for a while now, and a few days ago, I asked her if she wanted to hang out sometime. She said yes, but she is away next week, and I am awake the week after that. Oh, wow. So 2 weeks of y'all being out of town. I feel like I should keep in touch with her until we have a chance to meet up next month. How should I start a conversation with her? You wait. Did you never talk to this girl? You just asked her out? You just asked her to hang out, and then that was it? Is that what I'm trying to understand here? Dude, okay, this is easy. So she's going to be out of town or wherever she's going to be away a week. So you send her one, maybe two texts while she's gone, thinking about you. Just fly me a quick text and tell me what kind of thing you have in mind that you like to do. And then I'll set everything up so that when we're both back in town, everything will be ready to go. How you doing? You having a good time? Send me a picture, something like that. It's light, okay, but fun and it's a connection. And then, let her know if you feel like you want to talk or chat or text if you have time. I know you with your folks and stuff, but if you want to, I'm around. I'm willing to listen. And just do it that kind of way. And then, you guys can keep, a little banter back and forth, but you make sure she understands that it's not nothing you demanding. Even if she doesn't, you're not expecting it. You just want her to fly you a text at some point before the date within the next 2 weeks to let her know some options so you can plan the date. Okay. And stop being this hangout shit and stop asking girls, uh, don't ask her out by text. See, that's not clear. You said, I asked her if she wanted to hang out sometime. I'm hoping that you did this, like face to face with your mouth, not over a text. Don't get started with that. Question number 6. This is a female in the 26 to 29 age group from Scotland. We've been together for 4 years and we have a 1 year old. I wanted to talk about marriage and he doesn't want to. I am hurt and broken, and he says it's not me, that it's him. He can't promise that commitment to me ever, pretty much. I am currently packing my stuff. It's awful that whatever it is going to be stronger than him caring about us, his family. He says it means total control of the other person when you marry. And to him, it's so negative. I've been talking to him for a month, and nothing promising comes out of his mouth. Hmm. I don't know why it's so bad, me loving him that much. I saw him like my husband. I'd like to make that reality. He is a kind, sweet person and father. But I want marriage and need to find it with someone else to complete my family then. He has not put the house under the baby's name. It's weird. If anything were to happen to him, it would be his mom's house. All my stuff is in there. It's odd. If he didn't want commitment, he should have told me before getting pregnant. It was no accident. We talked about it. Okay, he is mature and has a good job, and so am I. I have a career for 20 years now. I don't understand. I told him he can have a baby with anyone or adopt one instead of me going through all that. He should have let me go a long time ago. He doesn't want me to go and says he loves me. But to me, it's like he's telling me to stay with me here at my house on my terms. It doesn't work that way. It's us, not me, or not you. It's us. Oh, well, it hurts to go and move on, especially with a 1 year old, when I wanted to do things right. I'm serious about a relationship. I have a job to help. I'm not out cheating. I'm a good mother and a great partner to him. It must not be enough. I don't get it. What would you do? First thing I would have done was close my legs and made sure my birth control was on point. Okay, see, all this is why, this part here just jumped out at me. Wait, where did I see that? Uh, oh, wait, I skipped something. He is mature and he's 10 years younger than you? Girl, you should know that ain't gonna happen. Okay, you said you wanted to do stuff right. He should have let you go a long time ago. Like, you need his permission to leave? You 10 years older than him? You've had a career for 20 years and yet you made a bonehead decision like this to breed with some motherfucker that don't even want to be with you? See, I don't understand you saying you want to do things right. Right is you get married first, then you have a baby. So you didn't really want to do things right. You're just telling me that bullshit. Are you telling yourself that? I don't know who you trying to fool. But the fact that you are now leaving from a man who told you he didn't want to get married with 1 year old in tow, That means you didn't do things right and you made a stupid decision. So I don't know what it is that you want me to do about this or what you think I'm going to say. Well, no, what would I do? I would have left. But see, like I said, if I wanted to get married, I would have left before I had a baby. Because, surely you knew this. Because he talking about, well, I want a kid, but you're supposed to say, whoa, hold up, home skillet. Where's the wedding at? Where's, the justice of the peace and the marriage license and all that stuff before you start thinking you're going to be having some encroachment in my womb? It don't work like that. You say it don't work like that as far as you being there with him with no commitment in the baby. But now you want to be having all these policies and procedures in place after the fact. Really, yes, that's two of us, Nerly. Really, um, whether you stay there or whether you go somewhere else, the end result is going to be the same. You're going to be a single mama. So, I mean, I know you mad at him and you packing and all this kind of stuff, but you may as well at least stay there with the kid be with his father instead of all up under the miscellaneous stray motherfuckers you're going to be trying to date. That's not a good idea either. So, in a situation like this where you done already messed up, I don't even see why what's the big deal? Just stay where you are. Wait till the kid gets older. Then leave if that's what you must do. But, everything that you've done has been so backwards and so ridiculous. It's like you're not going to get what you want, not from this dude. But you got to figure out, is it going to be better for you to be on your own, trying to juggle childcare and housing expenses and all this stuff, or is it better and more expensive and more cost benefit analysis? Makes more sense in a cost benefit analysis to just stay where you are. I can't make that decision for you. You have to. But you seem like you dead set on this marriage thing, and I'm wondering why you didn't be dead set on it before you had the baby. That's where I'm stuck. Okay. Let's move on because I don't have nothing for you. Question number 7. This is a male in the 18 to 21 age group out of Washington, D.C. Hey, Auntie Deb, thank you for picking my letter, Candace. This is the deal. My pops dipped out when I was about 6 or 7. My mom has had shitty boyfriends since that time, but everyone knows she still loves my dad. Yesterday, she reminded me to call my father and wish him a happy Father's Day. Me, no thanks, I'm good. Her, boy, he is still your father. Me, unfortunately. Her, get out of my face before I hurt you. I went upstairs and locked my door. She came upstairs and started banging on the door because of the no locked doors policy. When I opened the door, she said, whatever my feelings were towards my father, I still live under her roof and I am her son, so I have to do what she says. I laid back on my bed and completely ignored her while she was yelling about how I need to call my father and give him the time of day for helping pay my tuition through high school. Yeah, and that's all he did. He wrote a check. But I haven't seen him at any of my soccer matches. He wasn't there when I was freaking out about what colleges to apply to or when I went to prom. When I got a girlfriend, my uncle gave me the sex talk because of his bum ass brother is too busy with his new family in a whole different state. I don't even think my dad knows what college I'm committed to or what I'm majoring in. Wow. This is interesting. I got really mad and said that if she wanted me to have a relationship with my father, then maybe she should have had sex with someone else. That's when she slapped me across my face, went to her room, and cried for like an hour. My 13-year-old sister came in and said I should apologize to mom because she heard what I said. I want to stress she's only ever slapped us like that a few times, and I definitely don't think she's abusive or a bad mom. Mom went off. AWF off. I've been at my uncle's. He's also my godfather's house. And I'm thinking of just chilling here until athletes can move in at my college dorm. I really don't want to apologize to her because she slapped the hell out of me. Also, I did text him and have like a 5-minute phone call every semester to say thanks for paying my tuition. in high school, but I'm on a full athletic scholarship now, so no one's on the hook for anything anymore. And plus, you're in college, so you're in the 18 to 21 age group. You're an adult now. Okay, so I mean, yeah, she might be helping to take care of you in a certain sense, but with a full scholarship, and then you could get a part-time job, you'll really be taking care of yourself. So she's like, as long as you live in my house and all that stuff, well, then move out. Okay, young man, move out. When you go to stay with your uncle and then move out. And if there's college breaks where there's holidays and whatnot, a lot of times, people go home with friends and stay, think Thanksgiving, Christmas with their roommate family or some other buddy on team's family or something like that. You'll get invited places. So the likelihood of you needing to go back to the house where your mother is are very, very slim. So what you probably should do, and if I were you, this is the approach I would take. I wouldn't talk to her because she's too in her feelings. I would write her a letter and don't call names and everything, just express your feelings like I really feel that you're putting this undue pressure on me to try to force a relationship with a man who obviously doesn't want to have a relationship with me. The only thing he did was write that check. He's never calls me, he never sends me a birthday card, he never sends for me to come and visit him for a holiday. He never does anything that to form a father son relationship, and yet you keep pressing me to be the instrument to do that. And I'm tired of it. I'm a young man now. I'm on my own. He has nothing to do with, and I did, as you said, while I was in high school, and he was paying for me, but now he's not paying anymore. I have nothing to call him and thank him about. I have no reason to be in contact with that man at all. That was somebody you dealt with, and I was the result of it. But I had no responsibility and involvement in that, Mom. And so I really want you to think about what I'm saying here and stop pressing me. I want to have a great relationship with you, but I don't want you focusing on what I should be, what you want me to have with him, because he doesn't want it. Okay, and I'm tired of trying. I just want to have a nice relationship with you and my sister and my uncle and just go on with my life, find myself a wife, and have my own children. That's what I'm focused on, the present and the future. You're still looking at the past. Okay, something along those lines. And send that to her and let her read that so she can see that you've given us a lot of thought and that your reaction was not just some off the cuff thing, and her response to you was her guilt and disappointment. But dude, that was fire what you said to her. I mean, I can't say nothing. That slap was well worth it because you put something on her brain that she needed to hear. And it was some reality. It was a reality check for your mama. You want your sons and your daughters to have a great father, a relationship with their father. Pick better men to have a child by. The fact that they have some raggedy ass relationship with some raggedy ass motherfucker, that's your fault. Okay, don't be trying to make it to kids to try to make the kids salvage the relationship. You did that to them. You picked him. Okay? And so what you said to her was not wrong. She just wasn't ready to hear it. Okay? Oh, it's just too much of this. Women ain't just picking these dusty ass bums. And I'm like, why you don't see no traits of anything quality about this man? There's a video. I already did that. A video about this being the biggest decision that you have to make. The man as a woman is the man that you choose to have father your children. That's one of your life's biggest decisions. And you can just mess up your entire life and all the children's lives that you have because of that one fucked up decision. Women really need to pay more attention. And I'm telling you, if you get pregnant by somebody who's stupid, run to the nearest abortion clinic. Don't be sitting up there talking about, oh, I can't do nothing. That's my baby. This and that, blah, blah, blah. Have another kid with somebody else that got some good damn goddamn sense. This is a fool, and you don't want to have a child by a fool, especially ones that got family history of mental illness, drug and alcohol dependencies, and stupid, in special ed as they were a kid, couldn't read, have learning disabilities and all that kind of shit. And you sitting up there having a baby by 'em, and then your kids are gonna be all fucked up, and then you're gonna be sitting up there trying to figure out what happened. You did that to yourself and you did it to your kid by making poor choices in a mate. I'm telling you. I made sure my dude was like on top of it. Straight A student, even all through college. Smart as hell. Cute. Sexy. Nice family. good genes. I made sure all of that was in line, okay? Because my mom was an RN, so I'm looking at everything. Who in your family got some kind of weird walk and missing fingers and toes and shit? Mental illness? Who's got Down syndrome? I want to know everything. Okay, I'm looking at all his extended family. And you got anything that's fucked up like that, I'm not having no kid with you. Because that shit might jump from your other gene into my baby, and I'm not having it. And I know that sounds, a lot of people be like, that's wrong. That's you supposed to be in love. Mm-mm. I love to have my kid normal with every advantage possible. I don't want to put my kid behind an 8 ball before they even get born because I made a stupid decision and who was the sperm donor. Let's move on to question number 8. This is a male in the 18 to 21 age group from Milwaukee. Auntie Deb, and he put like a whole bunch of exclamation marks. I just got home from a great first date with a girl at the park. We spent 3 hours adventuring, had great talks the entire time, laughed, held hands through most of it, and I asked for a kiss at the end, which she consented to. And then when we parted, we kissed again, and she gave me a third kiss. Hmm. She definitely likes me and will go on another date for sure. But I felt like she is still trying to play a little hard to get. Some people might just openly buy in after a great date. I was wondering how long I should wait to text again. I'm hesitant to send a text tonight. We already departed and said it was a great time. Is it okay to wait a day or two before getting a date set up? Nope. Don't want to come on too enthusiastic or needy. How should I handle this? I don't want to scare off or think I am desperate and lonely. Oh my God. See, this is something. When I used to do my TV show here on Soul Beat in Oakland, California, I used to be on Soul Beat for those of you who know about Soul Beat. For a couple of years, I had a show there. And one of the show topics was this very thing: why men want to play this stupid game where they want to wait to contact the woman either after they get her number or after a date. Okay, so all you men, you've been listening to other stupid men that tell you, oh, you don't want to seem too anxious. You don't want to this, you want her to miss you. And these PUA people talking about you want to build up, what do they call it? Anticipation and interest. Let me explain something to you. A woman is either interested or she's not. You don't build shit, but you can't destroy shit. I'm gonna tell you that. You have this girl is all over you and she's holding back. You know why she's holding back? To see if you're gonna be stupid and say and do the stuff that you have in this letter. Okay, now what you are supposed to do is wait until before you go to bed and then you text her and say, good night. I'm still smiling from, having met you today. And that was like the best first date I've ever been on. I can't wait for our next one. Sleep tight and I'll reach out to you tomorrow or the next following day to get something set up. That's what you do. Okay. And she's going to be looking at that fucking text for the next 2 days until you call her again. And you're not going to text her. You're going to call like an adult man. You're going to pick up the phone and you're going to be like, hey, babe, I was thinking about you. What's going on? That's what you're going to do. And put some bass in your voice. Sound sexy. Okay. Don't text her. My God, these men, do I have to like tell them everything? Do I have to hold your dick too? I mean, really? You don't you do something with yourself. First, stop listening to stupid men on the internet that tells you this crap here. That to wait and all this stuff and build interest. That's a big thing I hear a lot from the pickup artist community. Well, he should do something. Well, no, it's going to be late at night. See, this is my thing. He's in that age group, 18 to 21. They do text a lot, okay? But I'm setting him up so he has a combination of the two. The texting is something that she can look at over and over. It gives her something to focus on until they talk on the phone. That's why I said that. Women like that. That's why women like love letters, okay? Okay, but now it's electronic. It's the same principle. So, but you're not going to ask her out on the next date by that. You're just going to reiterate something that you already told her verbally. Let her know you're still thinking about her and you're still smiling and you're still in a happy state of mind and it's because of her. Okay, she going to go to bed smiling. You say good night, sleep tight, rest well, whatever you want to say. And I'll hit you up in tomorrow or whatever. All right? That's how you do it. I'm telling you. Because dudes that send them kind of sweet texts, see, we would never tell you that. But this is what we do, especially if she's really excited enough to kiss you 3 times on the first date. Okay, you in there. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up by playing these silly little interest games. If a woman is hot for you, she wants you to be hot for her. And you doing all this kind of stuff, you going to cool her off. And then she going to be like, who? Who is this? And see, then that's what happens, and y'all be mad and be talking about, well, they don't want a good man, or they were playing games. No, you were the one playing games. That was you, worried about all this stupid shit here. You want to get with the girl, then get with the girl. Okay? That's how come players are so successful. All you other dudes just hanging back and waiting and trying to use charts and spreadsheets and stuff for calculate when you should call her and all this old stuff here. The other dudes know they recognize when a woman is interested and they strike when the iron is hot. That's where they get women and you don't. Okay? It's that simple. And I'm trying to give you some game. You better listen. Question number 9. This is a male in 30 to 35 age group out of New Jersey. New Jersey. I'm an Asian male. I'm 32, 6'1", athletic build. If only I were younger. Trying to find a serious relationship while working in NYC and living in Jersey. I'm at the point where I'm no longer looking for hookups. I want a girl with good character and values and to get serious. I'm making 100 grand now and finishing grad school, so all my other aspects of my life are trending in the right direction, except having a girlfriend. I tend to feel that the dating app narrative for Asians is somewhat true, but I do get a decent amount of hinge matches since I try to highlight my build, height, style, sense of humor. I often stick with dating apps because that gives me the initial sense that the other party finds me physically attractive, which adds to the confidence versus trying to meet women in real life. Hmm. One added layer that hurts my self confidence when it comes to dating is that I had a father that was never around for me emotionally during my life, which sometimes leaves me overthinking dates and relationships, specifically asking myself, am I good enough? I don't want to rely on strictly dating apps to find a girlfriend, but I often have a tough time approaching girls in real life and analyzing whether they're into me or whether they think of me as a friend. I'd love some advice from the women in this squad on a few things. Number one, what are some relative signs a woman gives off when they're physically attracted to you in real life? Could be a stranger or a friend of a friend. Number two, what are some qualities women are looking for in a man when they're looking to get into a serious relationship? Thanks for your input. Okay, these questions are way too deep for my little column. I'm going to answer one of them. And I'm going to, the serious relationship one, you ain't at that level yet. So we're going to skip question number 2. You can write in and ask me that later after you're already dating somebody. So we're going to stick to this one. What are some relative signs that a woman can give off when they're physically attracted to you in real life? So you ladies respond. What signs do you give out when you are ready, when you are interested in a man? Okay. I can tell you what I do. I stare at him like he's got, I don't know, money growing out of his face. So I don't know. I will stare at him because I'm trying to memorize every pore on his body. I'm looking and I'm looking some more. And I'm going to look some more and I'm going to show all my teeth, all 777 of them. I'm going to show them all. That's going to be me. And then if I feel really bold, like if I'm in a situation where I've actually had some liquor, I'll mosey on over to him. And I'll be like, hi, what your name is? And they always laugh because it's so stupid, it's so ridiculous. And then I say, well, I was just looking at you from across the room. And yes, I definitely like what I see. What's your name now? Come on, tell me, tell me, tell me. What's your name? What's your number? Oh, what's your name? And what's your number? I mean, my approach is usually humor. That might not work for you because I don't know what your personality type is. Mine is goofy, and so I get away with that kind of stuff. They just be laughing, and the next thing you know, they're mine, and that's how I've always done it. But women. So check in the chat room because some of the women are going to be putting, what they do when they're interested in a guy, what kind of things they give out, what kind of messages they give out, energy, signs, signals, whatever. But I'm thinking, like, when we are interested in something, we look at it. Most of the time, like when guys are looking at women and the woman looks away, she's not interested in you. She don't want to be looking. She's not trying to make eye contact with you, okay? Because she don't want you to get the wrong idea. So if you see that, but or she might look at you, right? She's looking at you, and then she looks away briefly, but then she looks right back. Okay, that's a go. But if she looks away and then she never looks back, that's a stop, rewind, reverse direction, deuce out, all that. That she ain't interested in you. You goofy too, Trinity? Girl, I'm telling you, I always have them cracking up. Be like, what's wrong with you? I was like, I don't know. I think I dropped on my head when I was a baby, but that's all right. You want to dance? Stuff like that, you know? And so, I always, if I'm interested in a dude, I always get the dude. Now, I may decide later that I don't want the dude and I cast him back. But, if I'm interested in based on what I see, which, I was the nightclub haunting person of the Bay Area, then, I'm looking at what I see. And if I like what I see, then I'm a strike, just like a snake. But if I, if what sometimes though you talk to them, right? And, so I mean, like they might have a girlfriend or I don't know, maybe I don't know, they're just in town for a little while or, I mean, there's always things that you might find out that might make that not really work the way that you had planned it to. But especially in this area, we get a lot of tourists and businessmen. So people who are here for like a week or two, a month, and then they're leaving again. So, you don't want to get involved in invested emotions and something like that. Girl, yes, honey, Jeffrey's. I was in Jeffrey's every weekend for years. I used to even hold events there when I had my Panache for Black Singles Club, had monthly events there, and then the other 3 weeks I was still in there anyway. But it's just one of those kinds of things that a guy has to be, you overanalyze things. That's what you're doing. You trying to put out all your spreadsheets and do the geek thing. It's not like that. It's gonna be quick and you have to catch it. And if what you should do is, go out and then observe, like go with a friend, just one friend, and you guys observe how the dudes they get the women, how they look at them, how they act, how they talk to women, how the women look at them, and then observe it since you like geeky struggle stuff. You make sultry eyes. Leandra's sultry eyes is trying to, she's like this. She's like, I wonder how big his wallet is so I could put my hand all up in it. And so the dude's thinking that he's sexy, and Leandra's really thinking about his money. They never know. Oh, Shuns, come on, girl. You got to give him something. I'm telling you, I would be, men, if you're like a personality that's, animated and fun and they see you laughing and having a good time and stuff, a lot of times you don't have to do anything. They'll come over to you. And they be like, well, looks like you having a good time. It's like, I am, but now that you're here, I'm going to have even more fun. What you doing? What you doing? What's over here? What's going on? And they'd be like, "Oh shit!" And then they sit down and then we start talking. I mean, it's that simple. I don't even know why people have all this angst about meeting people. It's so easy, But like I said, you talk to them and you might decide that they're stupid or ugly or some kind of cretin or some kind of weirdo or something. But I mean, just to initially get it going and just to have a conversation and a dance or whatever, that's so super simple. It is easy, O'Shawn. It's like super easy. I know one of my friends, she ended up dating this dude for years. We was at this bar, right? It was when I was working on my first book. So I'm at the bar drinking and, doing this, and I wasn't really paying too much attention to her. So this dude came and he had some ribs. They had, how they have like a person who comes and makes food like in the back. So he was selling ribs or something. And so she wanted some. And she goes, did you want to eat some? I don't want that greasy shit. So she didn't want to have a whole thing to herself. So this guy was sitting at a couple of stools from her, and he got a plate of ribs, right? So she asked him if she could have one. And he said, you want one of my ribs? And she said, yeah. She's like me. We're both Leos. And so she started showing her pretty smile at him and stuff. Dude was like, shoop, down, switched his chair, was sitting next to her. And they was together for like 5 or 6 years after that. It's just that simple, ladies. It's not hard to meet a dude. Now, like I said, you might decide that he's stupid and you don't want to keep him. But as far as just getting him, that's nothing. Just, you look, you don't even have to be that cute. It's in how you present yourself, you know, and strike up conversations and how you kind of engage the guy. And so for you, dude, it's the same thing in reverse. You just have to be astute and understand what's going on. And look at what the ladies say here in the chat room. You can listen to the stuff I said and just kind of, recognize when a woman is giving you some play and then strike. Let's move on to question number 10. She's in the 21 to 25 age group somewhere in the UK. That's what it says, somewhere in the UK. I'm 24. I work in the field with children, which makes me a mandated notifier at my job. About 2 months ago, I observed a severe case of neglect of a child, but not while I was at work. I'm not required to report outside of work, but I did it because I could not morally let it slide. While I was on the phone to prior to the while I was on the phone to the report line, my mom let herself into my house. I briefly told her I needed privacy and shut myself away in my bedroom to ensure that she wouldn't hear. Once I had completed the report, she demanded to know why I was being so secretive. I told her only the bare details that I was raising a report for a case of neglect and that it had to be completely confidential. She began to ask questions such as whether the child would be taken away. How could I do such a thing? And how do I know, knowing that this child would be taken from their family? I defended my actions and assured her that the child would be taken care of. However, she took that as confirmation that the child would be removed. I reminded her that it was a strictly confidential matter and that I was done discussing it. She blew up that it wasn't fair of me to destroy family, so I kicked her out. Good job. When I was ready to speak to her again a week later, she demanded an update on the child. I told her I did not know because they don't update notifiers once a report has been lodged, and even if I did, I still would not tell her because it's confidential. She was offended that I would not tell her if I knew. She has taken to Facebook and has posted weird cryptic messages about loyalty and the importance of family. She has tagged me in some of them and has trash talked me to other family members. Every time I try to speak to her, she asks if I'm happy that I tear families apart. Wow. She's always been overbearing and nosy and righteous, but it just hurts extra since I know for a fact that I did nothing wrong. I can't speak to her without her bringing this situation into the conversation, and it's ruining our relationship. Deb, is this worth salvaging, or should I just move on with my life? It doesn't sound like it's going to go uh, in any positive direction, and your mother is putting her nose in something that does. See, you don't talk to your parents like how I cussed my daddy out several times when he got too jiggy. He got jiggy, and he got, you hear how I talk. He was the one who taught me to talk like that. So you can imagine two Coopers going full strength cuss out mode at each other. It was ugly, but you know what? 20 minutes later, we was giggling and laughing again. But that's just that's just how it is. But your mother, see, if I had said that and she got, you kicked her out and stuff, that was fine. That was what you were supposed to do. But what to do, the thing that you left out is so you're saying that a child should stay in a situation where they're not being fed, not being taken care of, they have lice on them and dirty and being abused because that's their family. That's what you're telling me. That's how you think. I'm embarrassed that you're my mother. My focus is on the safety and the health of a child who is defensive and innocent. Whereas y'all, you could think about is the pride of the family who treated the child like shit, but they're supposed to get more consideration than protecting that baby. That's what you think. I'm embarrassed that you're my mother. You make me sick. I'm disgusted with you. I would have said shit like that to her. Oh, Sean, you heard the letter. You know exactly as much about it as I do. Don't ask me questions like that. What am I, like psychic? I don't know. I read the letter. That's all we know. Okay. You know as much about it as I do. She did not say because A, it's confidential. Okay. So why would she come and write us? And she didn't want to tell her mother. Why would she tell us? Come on now. But having worked for adult protective services is that same thing. We have people that call, right? Okay, so I'm on the phone. So here comes the phone. Ring, ring. Oh, I'm calling about, I don't know, say, Mr. Jones, he's 86 and, somebody filed a case on against him and I wanted to find out the status. And I say, oh, well, I have to explain to you that pursuant to section whatever it was, don't remember it now because it's so long ago, of the California Penal Code, Criminal Code, these reports are confidential by law. You and no one else except the police or a court are allowed to know the outcome of any investigation that we do. These are completely confidential matters. Oh, well, can't you tell me, are they going to look into it? Confidential. Well, who did they talk to? Confidential. Well, what's going to happen to him? Confidential. And then they get mad and they hang up. But see, that's the idea about it is, is to protect these people. And a lot of times, well, usually what I found most of the time, the one calling and trying to get the information is the one who did it. And they're trying to figure out, how much time they have to get out of town or hide evidence and stuff like that. I didn't tell them nothing. And then we're not supposed to. So, your mother, I'm sorry, girlfriend, your mother is trash. Your mother's trash. And what you need to do is when she's trash talking these people on Facebook, you go on there and put the law in there and say, it's embarrassing to me that my mother cares more about image than she does the health and safety of a young innocent child. I feel like it's my duty to help protect the child's life and health and mental and emotional safety, whereas my mother just wants to make a show for a good showing for society's purposes. That's all she cares about, not the child. All she cares about is what it's going to look like for the parents. And I say if the parents cared that much about what it looked like, they would have taken better care of their child, and then this wouldn't be an issue. I would say clown or something like that. So, she want to be trying to make it seem like you did something wrong. I would make her out to be the most triflingest, low-lifed, most just ridiculous person there is. And I would post it everywhere where she posted something about me. I would fire right back and talk about how embarrassed and humiliated I was that she was my mother, how she's such a disgrace. And I'm glad nothing like that happened to me because she would have treated me the same way, tried to sweep it under the rug for appearance sake and stuff. I would say all kind of stuff. And then you block her. But you get your say first. Question 11. This is a young man in the 22 to 25 age group from San Mateo, California. My girlfriend can't get a job and has decided that she wants to be a housewife, and she's only 25 years old. We've been together for a little over 2 years. Wow. And I really do enjoy her company. However, for nearly 16 months, she's been unemployed. And before that, she was only employed for a few months. She's a freelance interior designer and hasn't made any money since she finished community college. Who takes a course in that? I don't mind that she's struggling, but it's not just because of the pandemic. It's been for a long time. She refuses to join a company and instead creates designs which no one would ever go for because they would be insanely expensive. She has no credibility either and isn't working out for her. I've asked her to reconsider, but she won't, and it's becoming tough on me. We finally talked about our future, and she told me that she wanted to be a housewife. This was a massive turnoff for me. I know I'm already supporting her, but I thought this would just be temporary. I've known for a long time I don't want to be supporting someone forever. I know having kids is tough, but in today's world, lots of women go back to work after having children. We are both only 25. What do I do? You break up, send her back to her parents. This is a no-brainer. Without, you don't want to have a housewife. You want to have somebody who's, at least working part-time. Even, you have kids, you want to feel like she's, contributing financially to the household income. You may find as you get older and get married that it's more beneficial for the children that you have and the household as a whole for her not to work. You may find that. But that should be a decision that you both make together, not something that someone dumps on you and says, well, this is what I want. And you're not even married and don't have no kids. You see what I mean? Because honey, one thing that you need to look at before you get too high on this wagon that you on, you talking about women going back to work, check out how much it is for daycare. Get a reality check, my brother. Because you might look at what she could be making and the taxes and the commute costs and the daycare and all that stuff and put your pen to paper, get your Excel spreadsheet working and draft up a tax return and decide that it really doesn't make sense for her to work until them kids are in school. That is most likely, especially if you have more than one kid. If you got two or three, it's crazy. She would have to be a major baller, making all kind of grand theft money for that to be even remotely sensible. Okay, so you think about this. This is a lot to think about. And but this is just your girlfriend. Remember that you're not married to her. And I want you to watch yourself because the next thing you know, she gonna turn up pregnant, and then you're gonna be stuck. Okay, so don't fuck her. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's gonna you gonna be stuck. I'm warning you now, and I hope you're listening to this. 5,000 a month? See, nah. I know back in the day, my mother used to charge. She had a daycare, the home daycare thing, and she was charging like 12 something, 1,300 for infants that's under two. And then once they got two, the price dropped because they could, walk around and feed themselves and, do other stuff. But when them little babies where you got to watch them, plus on the license, they're limited how many you can take. Plus, she had to hire a helper. So it was a lot of money outgo for her. And so she stuck it to the parents, honey. And that was like 20 something years ago, 30 years ago. Yeah. So, I can imagine, Diana, yeah, with inflation and all that, I could see that. 4 or 5 grand. Dude, really? Is she going to be even making that much? Let's move on to question number 12. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group, Wellington, New Zealand. I've been talking to this guy for about a month, and his birthday is coming up soon. Should I get him a birthday gift? Basically, we met online and we've been talking for about a month, daily with FaceTime calls. We already said we liked each other, but is it too soon to get him a birthday gift? Would it be awkward? Yes, it's too soon, and yes, it's awkward, and no, you don't do that. Let me tell you the game, okay? Because, and it's terrible that I know people like this, but they so trifling. That's the problem. I just know too many trifling men. Okay, whatever woman they meet, what they're trying to get at, they have a birthday coming up next month. Why did they have a birthday coming up next month? So they can get her to buy them stuff and take them out on her pocket. Then they break up with her and move on to the next one, and they have another birthday coming up next month. You see how this works? And some of you are just so anxious and so desperate, to try to make a quote good impression and let him know you like him and all this stuff. You go out and spend all kind of money buying all kind of shit that you don't need to be buying. $50, $100, and all kind of stuff like that. I was married before I spent over $50 for a man on a present. I bought him a leather jacket at Macy's and it was on sale. And it was $200 and I was struggling to put that credit card down and pay that thing. But that was my man. We had a kid and everything. So I got it for him. But don't think I wanted to. But I'm just saying that's not how you do things. The most you should do for something like this is get him a cupcake, stick a candle in it, hold it, and say happy birthday. May all your wishes come true, and tell him to blow that shit out. What's that? $4 or $5? That's it. That's all you're gonna do. Okay? That's it. I'm telling you, don't do nothing else. Don't you buy him nothing. Let's move on. Question 13. This is a female in the 35 to 40 age group from Miami, Florida. My boyfriend is a dusty prevert. Prevert. Isn't that like Archie Bunker? My boyfriend has an inappropriate relationship. She is 20 and he is 43. She is his friend's daughter that he's known most of her life and they live down the road. They never talked while we have been together till she moved in down the street, renting her mom's house. He makes comments about her like she's hot. He wants to screw her. Got upset when I didn't think she was hot. Then I find out at 16 he asked to see her nipple rings. What? And he's telling you all of this? He was saying, I want to take her to a daddy daughter dance. She is 20 and just odd shit like that. Mind you, we talk about other people when we're being uh, intimate, but never someone we know. I told him that wasn't okay. Now I feel like he puts her first. One example, okay, I want you to understand there is not a period or a capital in what I'm reading. So I'm doing my best to make this make sense. So just bear with me. One example is I asked him to cook with me. That's something we love doing with each other, but he said no. I'm busy. I got shit to do in a real rude way, and it hurt my feelings. It made me cry when he left the kitchen. Then she comes down and he dropped what he had to do and did the shit she asked that took a long time, a few hours. Another time he told me, I'm trying to finish what I gotta get done so I can come spend time with you. I really am. Then she comes and asks him to go for a walk with her and her dog, and he dropped everything and went for an hour walk. Then goes and does her yard work to get a garden going after I told him I wasn't cool. Huh. We keep fighting about this all this more and more, and he didn't know how I feel and says I'm only upset because it's her. If it was anyone else, it wouldn't matter. That's crazy because the issue is her and him putting her first. He wants to fix shit, but he's not doing anything to make me feel better. I don't know what to do to get past this and move on. That's what you do. You move on. You trying to force him to be the man that you want him to be focused on you, committed to you, to think about you and put you first. It's not going to happen. Okay, and I don't know if you know how to reach her father, but I would be dropping that dime and I would be telling everything. He's her father's friend. I would tell the father, this is what he thinks about doing to your daughter and how he's trying to be friendly with her and all this kind of stuff here. This guy is a pervert and he has designs on your daughter. And did you know that when she was only 16, he asked her to see her nipple rings? I would tell the daddy and just wait for the fireworks to happen. Sit there and cross my legs and sip tea and just wait for dude to come through the door and his face all fucked up. And so I'd be like, wow, look at you. Your eyes are all kind of swollen up and your face is bruised and puffy. What happened? Well, my friend fucked me up. Really? Wow, why you do that? Well, because he found out, that I was interested in his daughter. He said I was spending too much time with her daughter. Really? Wow. That's what I would do. I would make it my business to find out where that daddy is and the mama too. And I would tell it. Say, yeah, this is what he did when your daughter was a minor child, only 16 years old. He's a fucking prevert. Well, he's all of them things. But the main thing you need to understand though, is if you got a man telling you that he wants to screw some other woman and you stay there to listen to it and you stay there and argue with him and you stay there to try to create what you think is a relationship, you're an idiot. You are like the most desperate woman I've ever met in my entire life. Do you think he has any respect for you? You gonna tell somebody some stuff like that and she gonna still stay? He knows you about the dumbest broad walking on two legs. He does not respect you at all. He probably hates you because for being so stupid. But he's not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you that though. Stop chasing this man. Leave him alone. There's something wrong with him. And somebody who's a predator on a 16-year-old girl, that was a criminal act that he did. So I'm trying to figure out why you would even be trying to be jealous of her than when she was a kid. She was a child when he did that to her. Whether she showed him or not, he asked her to. Okay? That's a predator of a child. So, you're not looking at this right. And, this is the kind of person that you should cut all ties with. But like I said, you need to hunt down her parents rather, and you need to spill every bean that you can spill and then sit back with your legs crossed and watch the fireworks. Because this is going to be awesome when that daddy finds out what he did to his 16-year-old daughter. Whew, this makes me so excited. I wish I could see the flying fists of fury. Let's move on to question 14. We have 26 questions today on What the Fuck Tuesday. If you have a question that you want to submit to this column, look in the show description down below and you'll see the link to the advice submission form. Just click it, fill it out, press submit, and it will come to our queue where we can review it and consider it for next week or the week after's column, okay? That's down in the show description. Okay, so this young guy is 22 to 25 age group from Spokane, Washington. And he says, I'm looking for some feedback. I'm taking this woman out on a date. She already agreed. I just need to set a date and time. We've known each other for a bit. Thinking about giving her 3 options to choose from, but not telling her what they are like. And he put colon, me. You got anything going on Saturday? Her, no. Me, awesome. You got 3 mystery date choices. Do you want to learn something, experience something, or do something? Hmm. What do you think, ladies of the squad? Obviously, I will provide proper proper attire guidance. God, tongue twister. Proper attire guidance. I like that. You see, my mind likes that kind of intriguing thing. The only thing, um, I would add the word new in there. Okay, so do you want to learn something new, experience something new, or do something new? Okay, now the reason why you want to put that new in there because just saying do something or experience something, that could be something eggplanty, and that's where she's gonna go. Okay, so you have to be very clear that it's not that you're not talking about something intimate. You're talking about an experience outdoors in public, with a lot of other people around and stuff like that. So by saying new, going someplace new to experience something new, or something like that. I mean, however way you want to word it, but I like this concept. I like this concept. It's very intriguing, and it would get my attention. It would definitely get my attention, and it would make it be like an adventure. And I like that you're putting some a creative spin on the dating thing. Now tell right back and tell me which ones you picked and what you did, because I'm really curious. I really want to know. Don't you love that, Tracy? I'm like, this little boy is the bomb. I like it because most people are so boring. Dating is just like, I'm gonna die now. But no, this is good, especially if you can back it up. I can't wait to hear what you did. Let's move on to question number 15. This is a female in the 22 to 29 age group out of Los Angeles. I have a rant about people's fixation on race. I mean, if you're attracted to a certain race, that's fine. But the more attention you draw to it, the creepier it gets. For instance, I took my white guy friend out to a mixed club for his birthday this past weekend since things are open again. Mainly black people there that day, though. I chose this club because the music is consistently good and the vibe is chill. While we were eating, he kept telling me how much he likes black girls. What? I raised an eyebrow first because why are you telling me this? But I let it go, but he kept saying it like 5 or 7 times. It got weird. Okay, no. Eventually, we hit the floor. I go my way and dance with a few women. He does the same. About 30 minutes later, one of the bouncers approaches me and says, "Hey, man, you're not in trouble, but I need you to get your boy." I'm confused, so I ask, "What's up?" Apparently, he's over there being cringe, calling the black women chocolate queens. Because constantly saying how much he likes black women and just making them uncomfortable. I had to get him out of there quick. Luckily, I knew the bouncer. Otherwise, that could have been so much worse. Oh, yeah, because y'all would have got bait. Deb, I see this all the time in my age group. People saying, "Ooh, I love me a black man slash woman." Or, "Damn, I love white girls, white boys." And they got to tell you every 10 minutes like it's a personality trait. Even worse, when they put down their own race to raise up the one that they're attracted to. Yep, I agree with you there. Like what you like, but don't make it weird. What's wrong with y'all? And for the record, before any of the squad asks, no, I don't hang with his ass anymore. Yeah, because we definitely want to know. This is really interesting, and I think there was a mistake because it says female, but this is a male, 22 to 29. Um, I'm going to say this. I mean, you said it's a rant, so I'm assuming you don't really have a question here. I didn't see one. You just wanted to know if I agree with you, and the answer is yes. I have seen that too, and I don't understand, especially that putting down to raise up. I've seen it with black men doing that, putting down black women to raise up. And I've been talking to the white girls. I mean, they cool and everything. I had no problem with them, and I wasn't interested in them. I got my man, so I'm sitting there. We just chewing the fat, and they would tell me that this is the kind of stuff that the guy said to them. And me, I have to ask. I'm like, okay, so when they say that to you, how did you feel about that? And two of them were like, oh, I feel like, he chose me because I'm better. Now, I couldn't let that slide. And then the other one's like, it made me feel uncomfortable. So it was, the camp was split. But the two that were saying that it made them feel like they're better, I'm like, okay, well, what is it that's so much better, do you think? Like looking at me and looking at you, what is it about you that's better than me, for example? And they start stuttering. They couldn't think of nothing. I said, oh, well, I'm going to tell you this. When a man tells you some stuff like that, he's blowing smoke up your ass because he wants you to feel like he's choosing you, that you're, like a prize or something. This is a manipulation tactic designed to get your panties. That's it. So don't think that there's anything about you based on your skin color that makes you better than anyone. It's not like that. When a man wants someone who's better, he wants someone who's better in personality, someone he's attracted to, something like that. But any guy who comes at you like the white guys who put down white girls and the black men who put down black girls, that's you. That's no. Now, yeah, you might have run into some rogue fools or something, and I can feel sorry for you for that. But you don't have the right to condemn an entire race of millions and millions of women based on what two, three, or five of them did. That's stupid. The same with black women. That's why I said, you don't worry about that. I concentrate on a man's behavior, but I do understand that there are certain aspects of black culture that encourage some certain negativity towards black women, and so we address that. But would I say that you flatly should never be with a black man? I will. You'll never hear me say that. Because to me, all men are stupid. You just have to find one that has a level of stupid that you can tolerate, and it don't matter what he look like on the outside. We're talking about internal qualities, and they all have some stupid side to them. Every last one that I've ever met in life. And I've been around the world and met millions of people when you talk about online and on the phone and on websites and in person and at parties and at clubs and on cruises and on airplanes and trains and boats and all the places I've been, all the places I've interacted with men all over the world, and they all have a stupid side. Every single one, even my brothers, stupid. I just be looking at the girls who be with them and marry them and stuff, and like, what's wrong with you? Why would you do that to yourself? But so to me, this out here, that don't make no difference. Yes. Hold on a second. Uh, 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 uh. Okay. Had to take care of a little housekeeping. All right, let's move on to question number 16. This is a female in a 22 to 26 age group from Rochester, New York. Hi, ladies. Just want to ask you something. I'm 24 and I recently started dating someone. He asked me out. We went for some food and some drinks. After 2 rounds, he pointed out it was my turn to pay. What? I've never had that happen before, but I also didn't mind paying at all. Due to COVID, a lot of ordering was done through QR codes, and I started noticing that he'd buy me singles on his rounds, but order himself doubles when I was paying. What the fuck? Deb, granted he paid for dinner, but something about that just gives me the ick factor. What do you think? I think you should have said something. So when he ordered a double, you say, no, 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 no. He's going to have what he had when he was paying for it, which was a single. See, I don't hold back. I don't say. I just would have called him out right there. And so it's like I'm buying a round. The round is exactly the same as you bought, sir. Okay, you bought a single, and it was you got some well drink. Don't be trying to order no top shelf shit on my dime. It's not gonna happen. Okay, so you gonna get exactly what you got when you pay for it. And if I was a dude, I'd do that to a woman too. No, we ain't that kind of party. Don't be thinking you be ordering Remy Martin and shit for $14 when I'm paying, and then when you paying, you order some old that bottle that just says brandy on it. I don't think so. But this thing is your turn. Wait, where was that? Where did I miss it? Oh, here it is. It was my turn to pay after 2 rounds. It's my turn. Who said it's my turn? Didn't you invite me out? If you tired of paying, then that means the date's over. That would have been me. That's what that means. You don't tell me shit. You don't get to dictate what I do. Okay? Now if you was gonna be cheap and you didn't have enough money and you on a budget and shit, then you shouldn't have invited me out. And if you should have stopped after one drink then. But you don't get to tell me shit, nigga. They don't work like that. Now. And then I would have got my shit and walked the fuck out. And that would have been the end of that. You not didn't know. You're not gonna play me like that. But see, the fact that you was willing to go and go in your pocket, he knew this was a sucker, and so he started ordering doubles and shit, and you just sitting there paying for it, not speaking up and not getting up. Y'all don't have no kind of boundaries. You don't have no spine. You don't speak up. You don't have no boundaries. Okay, how you gonna let somebody do you like this? Obviously, you don't know the motherfucker. You sitting out there having drinks, and you just gonna let him play you like that? And like I said, I'm like this with men too. You taking some broad out and something, she said, "Oh, I'll buy it around," and then she want to get you some well shit, and then when it's your turn to pay, then she want to be ordering top shelf. No, 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 no. You gonna get the same shit that you ordered when you paid for it. That's what you gonna do since it's quote another round. Another means a duplicate of the previous. That's what another means. Look it up in the dictionary. Okay? I'm not doing that. No, I don't play. I would have given him all kind of side eye and say, "Well, this day's over then, motherfucker." That's what that means. I'm not buying you shit. I'm not buying you a box of gum, Cracker Jacks, nothing. You need to understand that. This fucking shit here is over. Deuces. I'm out. Ugh. That's gross. That would have turned me the fuck off. Question number 17. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Toronto. Should I tell my ex's family that he lied about having a vasectomy? This clown lied to me our whole relationship, Deb. I'm 20 and he's 32. Okay, first of all, what? How you gonna get involved with somebody in their 30s and you only 20 years old? What's wrong with you? He is the oldest guy I've dated by far, and he's really mature and normal. His family and friends acting like I was crazy when I mentioned the lies and infidelity. We found out I was pregnant about 3 months ago. We didn't use protection because he had said he was fixed. He moved away almost immediately after I told him and lied about that too. Said he was sick. He would lie about what color shirt he was wearing, but apparently only to me. He said he was going to come and help me with the abortion. He lied about that. Lied about sending me money. I know PayPal doesn't take 3 weeks. Now I know he's lied about helping me take care of a child, too. What kind of man lies about a vasectomy? I'm going to sell my grandma's bracelet she gave me and hopefully pay for the procedure and take a bus or train across the country to my cousin and start a new life tomorrow. But I keep on wondering what about him, what about me made him lie all the time? Any insight would be amazing. The main thing I'm wondering, do I tell his family? They think I'm horrible for wanting to have the procedure. Should I just move on? No, tell them. Because, see, I don't know. See, I tell you, the flamethrower issue. I have to do it. I would just put every single thing that he did, all the lies he said. I said, this is the person that you're related to. This is the fantasy a lot of people have. Like, when something happens and people say, well, my brothers aren't like that. The men I know aren't like that. And they want to get on your face when you start jamming up talking about the behaviors that men do. And I have to tell all these silly bitches, just because you don't see that side of him, you aren't fucking him. Okay? That's why I would never tell somebody how my brothers are not in a relationship. I don't know. I know what I used to see when they were teenagers, and it wasn't cute. Okay, but they were all fine, smart. So they was at the top of the food chain, and so you could get pretty much any woman that they wanted. And my oldest brother has hella game. That's the one that's a Q. So you know how Qs are. He could talk Mother Teresa out of her panties if he wanted to. But I'm like, this is the kind of thing that a man, he has you in a certain box. So you're only going to see a certain side of him. The other people that ain't in that protected box that you're in are going to see that real motherfucker, and it ain't nothing cute. Okay, so that's why I say women are always trying to talk about, well, I don't know what kind of men y'all be picking because none of the men I know is like that. I want to slap the black off of them, white, yellow, whatever color they are. I want to slap them into reality because, bitch, you ain't fucking them. You don't know what the motherfucker's like in a relationship. So shut up. Okay, just shut the fuck up. You don't know nothing. And so, this is the same thing that's happened to you about this man and his family. They are under the impression that he's this, wonderful person because that's what the side that he shows them in their little protected bubble that he has them in. You need to take a pen out and bust that and say, oh, yeah, let me tell you about this and this and that here. And if he has text, take screenshots and include them in the email. And, just print them out and just let them see everything and say, yeah, this is the evidence right here. This is a picture of it. This is a screenshot of it. This is the rogue motherfucker that you related to, and this is he's trash. And this is why I'm getting an abortion. So, you understand why I don't want nothing that looks like him or acts like him or carries his DNA, not in my life. So, that's just the way it is. Yeah, they are like that, Mary Elizabeth. You know what I mean? But they'll never like they like dudes, that be doing all kind of crook shit and stuff. But they take their mother to church on Sunday, and all she sees, oh my son, it's that same mentality. And these women just don't get it. You're not gonna know your. They're gonna show you what they want you to see, and that's a typical narc manipulative move. All right. So yeah, spill every bean, all the beans. Question number 18. This is a male in the 45 to 50 age group from Santa Barbara. I will be 50 in August. I've been divorced for 5 years after a 21-year marriage. Wow. I've been in two relationships over the past 27 years, both of which I ended. I'm new to dating, specifically online dating, and I want to know what you ladies of the squad think is appropriate regarding photos. Ooh, I wish he would have sent some. I'm 5'10" with red hair and I keep it very short as I'm bald on top and not wealthy. My advantage is that I'm around 10% body fat and look muscular even without gym workouts. I'm an outdoor endurance athlete and proud of my physique. I've earned it for myself and I feel like it's part of my personality. But when I had women review a kayaking shirtless photo of myself on Photo Feeder, the photo got trashed. I could have put up a picture of a dog turd and it would have done better. I believe that I get it though. The photo was from a bright and hot day where I was wearing a large hat and sunglasses. The comments for it were mostly about not being able to see my face well, and I understand that many women might feel catfished if they thought initially a guy was hot and it turns out that he had an ugly face, so they might need to see the whole package at once. In my online dating profile, though, I lead with a photo of my whole face and head while smiling with my teeth showing, and my other pictures show me doing various activities. So I'm going to ask you in the squad, in my online dating profile, does the context matter? Or are women that opposed to guys showing skin? This wasn't a shirtless selfie in the bathroom mirror. I just captured a moment of me being me. What should I put on my profile? Hmm, that's interesting. So the person got trashed because you have on a hat and sunglasses. Well, yeah, I can see that because that is like a costume, like you're going incognito. So I could see where that would be a point of contention. My thing though is, why do you have to be like naked online? Why can't you just show a picture of you like with a nice fitted T-shirt, a nice fitted collared shirt? Um, I don't know what other activities do you do where you don't have to be naked. A picture of you doing those things. A nice headshot, a full body shot, looking like a businessman or something. Some casual leaned up against something or a car or something. You don't even have to show the whole car. Just, kind of, how people sit on the hood of the car and then they do their arms like this. That typical dude pose. Something like that where you're dressed nice and it shows your physique. Like some nice fitted jeans and like a muscle t-shirt or some, I don't know what kind of t-shirts men wear these days, but it's one fitted, not a dad t-shirt and something like that. Why can't you do something like that, sir? Why you got to be naked? No, he said he's not broke. He said he's not wealthy. But there's a long way between being wealthy and broke. A lot of in between, land in between. So, you're an endurance outfit athlete and stuff. I mean, how about a picture of you running a race or whatever? I mean, whatever you do. But put some clothes on, okay? If you wanted a woman to see you naked, wait until y'all is about to do the do that she can see. That's enough of that. It's like you just leading with that. It just implies, I just want to be naked with you and jump your bones, and that's just not a good look. That's why you got trash because it makes it seem like that's the association is nudity equals sexuality, and that's not a good thing for you to be projecting. Okay, so tighten that up. You can still show your bod, but you need to have some clothes on over it. Question number 19. This is a female in the 26 to 29 age group from Pennsylvania. The movie The Lovely Bones gave me a reality check of the almost that happened when I was 14, and I can't stop feeling stupid. Oh, I watched that again a couple of weeks ago. Did you guys see that, The Lovely Bones? Oh, this is awful. Maybe you can use this story and educate some of your young listeners on what to do. Deb, when I was 14, I was walking to a class and the road was empty when a man on a bike stopped me and asked for a direction that was very obvious. I told him where it was, and he was like, "Why don't you get on the bike and show me?" In a quote, friendly way. Oh. I was hesitant because he was a stranger and I had to go to my class. I said no a couple of times, but he asked again, and I'm a person who hates saying no because I feel bad. Thankfully, before I could say yes, he said, "Okay, it's fine. And would you like to give me a hug?" And then pulled me to him and groped me, and he went. I went to my class and left, felt disgusted with myself. Now, years later, I think, what if I had said yes? How could I be so stupid? Why didn't I just leave? This is the kind of stuff I'm going to use this letter again on Thursday. I wish, well, I guess she was working on a column before I decided to do the show, so I can't say anything. But these are the kind of things I want to talk about on Thursday about teens dating. Because just like this was a stranger, this could have been what you called your boyfriend who did the same shit to you, pressured you to where, you're not comfortable, you don't want to do it, but, you have this thing where you're afraid to say no because I feel bad. Why do you feel bad saying no to complete strangers? That's your right to say no. Parents need to make sure their daughters understand how to say no and can say it well and say it forcefully and say it with meaning. That's what you need to do. Don't ever tell your daughter that she can't say no or that other people have more right to touch her body or to dictate what happens to her body than she does. Like those parents that say, "Go over there and kiss your Uncle Ralph. Give him a hug." All this kind of stuff. So you got some pervy, 50 something year old uncle squeezing on your 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old daughter's body, pressed all against her, feeling her little boobies on him and stuff. He's getting his jollies, and you stupid parents don't even understand what's going on. What the purpose? Why he insisted on hugging your daughter? Did he hug your sons? No, only the young teen girl. That's the only one he wanted to touch. But you stupid dumbasses don't even understand what's going on. You don't make somebody your child let anybody touch them. If your child says no, I don't want to, or runs away or hides, you say, well, they don't want to, and I support my child's decision. That's what you do. That's how you show you're a proper parent. But we'll talk about this some more. Now, as far as you, this goes. This is obviously a situation where your parents did not tell you how to handle a situation like this. Because if you had known, you would have taken off running the second he stopped. I mean, like booking it until you got to your class. And most, 14-year-old kids can run pretty fast. Okay. Now, you running and screaming, help me, he's not going to want to chase you on his bicycle to do that because it would draw too much attention. That would have been how you could have gotten out of this situation. Even my daughter is stupid. I mean, as much as I've talked to her, she did something stupid. When she was in high school, she's walking down home from school, right? And she's about this age, 14, 15. And she's walking home and with a little friend and some little kids, from her school or maybe a little younger. Some little boys walk up to them, ask them could they have a hug, and they're so stupid they gave them one. I'm like, why did you do that? Because before I yelled at her, I wanted to understand what her thinking was so I could correct it. Right, so she's like, well, they were just little kids and they seemed nice. I said, okay, so when he was hugging you, what sensations did you feel? So she could feel his little boner, right? And she's like, she was like, well, I didn't know what to do. I'm like, mm. So I had to calm down before I had to talk with her because, I wanted to lose my mind. But I told her, I had to reinforce her. No one touches you. Okay. How many times have I told you this? I'm going to tell you again. You don't let any man touch you. Nobody. I don't care if it's a younger male. I don't care if it's an older male. I don't care if it's your friend's daddy. I don't care who it is. They are not to touch your body. Okay, and he's walking down the street asking teenage girls to hug him, little fucking freaks. You know, I was just, and so in this thing, the little girl, the same thing happened. She was afraid to say no. She was afraid to look, people get embarrassed about running, screaming, calling for help, and this kind of stuff. And for some reason, a lot of people train their kids to be helpful and answer questions for strangers. I tell my daughter, don't talk to no fucking body. If it ain't somebody that I have already co signed on, you take off running and you don't say nothing to them. And I don't give a fuck about if it hurts their feelings. Good. Their feelings need to be heard. So, stuff like that. But so many parents, well, you should be nice, be helpful and stuff like that. And that's what they tell their daughters. That kind of shit's getting your daughters abducted and killed. You don't tell your daughters to be nice to anybody. They don't need to be nice to strange men. They don't ever need to be nice to strange men. They don't need to talk to them, look at them, tell them what time it is, give them direction. Nothing. Nothing. No strange man needs to be talking to a teenage child under any circumstances unless it's his child. Okay? That's what you need to tell your kids. So they know. I mean anybody. Like my mother did. She said if we're not home, if me and your dad leave here and y'all here at the house by yourselves, you don't let nobody in this house. Okay? My mother said nobody. I picked that up. So my oldest brother, where did he have to go? Somewhere, I don't know. So then the two oldest ones left. So it was just me and my youngest brother at the house by ourselves, right? I was probably about 10. And I think they were going to be back, but still, for a while we was going to be at the house by ourselves. And my grandmother came, my mother's mother came to the house and she rang the bell. She wanted to come in. I said no. And she was outdone. She's like, well, you could let me in. You know who I am. I said, no, mommy said, don't let anybody in. And I know my mother, y'all could feel that thought bubble. And she would have beat my ass because she said, I said nobody. And that's what I meant. And I know I knew that woman. I said, I'm sorry, grandmother, I can't do it. And these are pre-cell phone days, so she couldn't call her. So my grandmother got in the car and she went back home, and she was just outdone. She told everybody that I wouldn't let her in, but my mother and father gave me a big hug and said I did exactly what they instructed me to do and that I was perfect. And she explained to my grandmother, what happened and how I did what I was supposed to do. So I got all kind of treats and everything for that. And that reinforced to me when my parents say nobody or no, do it or stop or whatever, then that's what you do. You follow their instructions exactly, and then everything will be all good. So you guys got to stop, chill, and I don't care who the person is, if it's a neighbor, a friend, your son's coach. No, I don't give a fuck who it is. You tell your daughters that person is not to touch you, and if they have some kind of, you have to code or something, so somebody try to pick them up or something. If they don't know the code word, you tell your daughter to take off running to the nearest house, the police, whatever, back to school, whatever, for their safety. You do make sure you tell your kids this stuff. These kids are just out here in the streets and their parents aren't telling them anything. Oh, yeah. Because but I understand what you mean, that Lovely Bones, that movie. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out, especially those of you who have teenage daughters. It's a very sad story, get ready, but it illustrates the predatory nature of a lot of people when it comes to teenage girls and how your daughter can get tricked and caught up if you don't arm them with the knowledge and give them scenarios, walk them through stuff, give them some what if kind of situation so that if that kind of stuff happens, they already have a plan in their mind because you've already worked out with them. Okay. Let's move on to question 20. We got 24 wait, did I say 24? No, 26. Male, 30 to 36 from London. So I had a third date with this woman. It seemed to go well. The first two dates, walks, coffee, etc., and conversation was good. But then on the third date, we planned to go sit in a pub and have a couple of beers in the sun. But when I got there, she had been drinking all day already and was very obviously drunk with slurring words and stumbling when walking. Now, I'm not against drinking and getting drunk every once in a while, but I just found it odd that someone would turn up to a date in that state. We made it to a bar. I had a couple of beers to catch up and managed a little conversation. She admitted she had struggled with alcohol and had issues around it in the past, but she continued drinking too. And by the time I walked her home, she just collapsed on her bed. I made sure she was okay, then I left. But now I feel a little awkward about contacting her. Should I bring it up? I don't want her to feel bad, but I also think if it's an indication of how she drinks regularly, I'm not sure I can Dude. What are your standards? What's your boundaries? Do you want to be so affiliated with just a pissy drunk bitch? Okay, it's the answer to that question is no, then you don't call her no more. You don't contact her no more. You forget you know her. You block her on your phone. That's what you do. And if she should happen to sneak by your blockade and happen to reach you, then you just tell her, nah, chick, you drink too much. I'm not down for all of that. I don't want to be bothered. And then that's that. Tell her to go to AA. Do they have AA in London? I don't. Do they? Or they probably do, or something like it. But yeah, you don't, I mean, she already told you what kind of fool she is. She was honest. She didn't even try to hide it. So you got full knowledge of what your life would be like dealing with this chick. And so you already know that's not something you want. So why would you even think about it? This you shouldn't even been wasting time writing me this letter. Question 21, female, 21 to 25. Kingston upon Hull in the UK. I'm trying to figure out if I'm being overly sensitive. Wow, we get a lot of letters from the UK. This is the exchange between my boyfriend and me last night. He gets home from work, and as the norm, he lays out on the sofa while I perch at the other end with our toddler having his bedtime milk. We usually have his bedtime CBBS show on at this time, but partner has football on, even though his head is stuck scrolling through Facebook on his phone, and he has barely lifted his eyes. I then get a whiff of his work feet, which are up by our end of the sofa. Me, phew, your feet stink. Him, and you're an ugly bastard. Ha 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 ha. How long would a man live saying some shit to me like that? Let me count the seconds, 'cause that's all it would be. Seconds. Me, sorry, what? Him, I said you're an ugly bastard. Me, why are you saying that? Him, I thought we were stating facts. You said my feet smell, and I'm just stating the fact that you're a fucking ugly bastard. Me, why have you got to be such a horrible person? Him, I'm simply stating facts. I thought we were fact sharing. Oh, yeah, man. I'd be calling his mama say, plan your son's funeral because I'm ready to fucking kill him. Bear in mind, he knows I'm feeling insecure about my looks since I'm 7 months pregnant and struggling with the heat. He often responds with what I feel are huge overreactions to very simple comments or questions, often not even me criticizing. I asked the other day what color his niece and nephew's eyes were as I was wondering about the eye pigment dominance on his side of the family, and he yelled back, I don't fucking know. Who gives a fuck? Who the fuck pays attention to fucking eye color? Dude is on his period. His reactions often take me by surprise, and of course, always puts the blame back on me. We recently had a round of couples counseling, triggered by me seeking therapy for being depressed, and during my assessment, they recommended couples therapy, which he reluctantly took part in but says it's a waste of time and only doing it to shut me up. Am I being oversensitive? No, but you're being overly stupid. This is a situation that you should have left. You should have got your toddler and said, I'm at, pack some shit in a bag and hit the door after shooting him dead. That's what you should have done. But I know a lot of people don't really want to face prison. Somehow, I don't know, I never really worried about that too much, but I probably should have. But he would have had to die. I'm sorry for that, for talking to me like that, calling me all kind of names like that. See, that would have been open seasoning. Oh, so you talking about not only do you stink, you stupid, you ugly, and you fucked up. I don't even know why I'm having a baby by your raggedy ass. This baby's probably gonna come out looking all kinds of fucked up, and guess what? I'm gonna leave it with you, with your deformed ass child looking all fucked up like you. I don't know why your mother didn't get an abortion. You waste of fucking time. I could have said all kind of crazy shit. Because we call him saying something like that to me, see, that would have opened the floodgates to the hell that is Deborah. And I would have read you every single fucking thing I could think about that you did or said that I didn't like. I would talk about you until you felt bad. Yeah. No, just don't even put the kid up for adoption. Just have the baby and just hit the door and say, here, that's your kid. I'm out. Boop. I'm taking this one with me. And then you can have this one. You and your mama can raise it. They do. It's 3:47 a.m. Girl, Heather, I guess you're right because I know a couple people told me that they come home from work and they take a nap so they can get up and watch the show live. But I had no idea it was like 4 a.m. That's ridiculous. But no, you're not being overly sensitive. But what I'm saying, you're not being sensitive enough because you're not responding to it. You're getting all like, "Oh, why would you say such a thing to me?" And you shouldn't be having that. You should be bopping him upside the head with something, chopping his stinky foot off, and say, "Well, now we won't have that problem, huh? Because you won't have no feet to stink, motherfucker." I don't know who gives a fuck. Who the fuck pays attention to fucking eye color? Yeah, this relationship is over. I don't understand how you could have some man talking to you like that and you stay with him. Okay, let's move on. Question number 22. Female, somebody say top of the morning. Question 22, female 26 to 29 out of Stockton. I met this guy on a dating app about a month ago. The first date went really well, and we quickly planned another one. But after this one, we planned a third, but we barely texted between both days. On date day, he canceled because he thought and she put like asterisks around it, would cancel. What? We eventually managed to reschedule the next day, and right after he apologized for canceling, he texted me that he liked me and he likes hanging out with me. During the dates, he would mention the things that we could do and the places we could go on future dates. And so many times I mentioned it to him and tried to plan those with him, but it never happened. Actually, we haven't met since the last date 2 weeks ago where he told me he liked me. However, he keeps saying that he wants to see me. He asked me out a few days ago, but he canceled the same day because he had to work and he wouldn't have had much time. He insisted on saying that he wants to see me, but he wants to have a lot of free time with me. To me, it's a sign of disinterest, and so I don't expect much from him. Also, because he's not a shy guy at all. Should I give him the benefit of the doubt? What would you do? I would block him because what he's trying to do is he's out exploring other possibilities and having other dates, but it's trying to keep you on the hook in case those things don't work out. That he can come back, circle it back, and make up another date with you, saying, "Okay, I have time now." But the time is the time that he's spending with these other bitches, and so you just hanging around, not dating other people, not living your life, not having eggplant with whoever you want to, because you're waiting for him to make time for you in his schedule. This is the game that you're falling prey to. So this is what you do. You go on with your life. You start dating other people. You do. You're most likely you're going to see him out. If you go to a popular bar or restaurant, you'll see him out with someone else. Then you can walk up to him and say, "Oh, hi. I was wondering how you were doing. Yeah, it's good to see you. This is my date, Joe. Oh, this is Rollo. Yeah, we went out a couple of times, but didn't really end up to be anything. Nice to see you out and having a good time. Talk to you later." That's how you do clowns like that. You don't give him that kind of power over your life. Question number 23. This is a male in the 30 to 36 age group from Savannah, Georgia. I've been with her for the past 2 years. I love her and the whole 9 yards. Ever since I started dating her, I noticed that she doesn't really care or take pride in what I do for a living, though. Maybe I'm biased, but I feel it in my guts. I own a small gas station. I'm able to manage well and keep my expenses low, which brings a good amount of wealth to me. Here's the kicker, though. Whenever she talks about her best friends, their boyfriends, or her cousins, and what they do for a living, she has this sparkle in her eye and gets really excited. Their occupations are landscaper, lineman, electrician, financial intern, etc. I don't really like to gloat when it comes to my financials, but I can assure you that I do outpace them short term or long term money wise. I know that none of us are rocket scientists. The fact that bothers me a lot is I worked nonstop for the past 5 years to save up some capital to get this business. However, she's more proud of her brother who built his house by taking a HELOC from their parents and think he's a millionaire or some big fact. Or whenever she talks about her best friend's boyfriend who's a landscaper, she got excited about his job. You get the idea. One of them is literally just an intern and she thinks he's going to be like a big finance guru or something. Am I really that insecure? To me, it really doesn't matter how much who makes what because I come from a poor family and I know I'm able to live frugally and happily about where I am. For me, I take pride in what I do. I told her about my past jobs, which I also took pride in, but to her, she didn't seem it like it fazed her. It bothers me a lot. Sorry for the long vent, but how do I cope with this insecurity? I don't. It sounds like you're noticing facts, sir. I mean, you have specific, like examples, and not just one or two, but like dozens. So I'm gonna say that this isn't like an insecurity that you just came out the sky and landed on you. It's based on your observations and what you're hearing, and so you're starting to doubt yourself because you're comparing yourself to these other people. And I'm gonna tell you stop it. Because what you have to do is look at the mirror and say, I busted my ass. I came from nothing and now I'm a successful business owner. I have money in the bank. I have, whatever options you want to have to travel and whatever else you want to do. You have those options because you busted your ass to get it. That's something to be very proud of, whether she's proud of it or not. And one thing I have to let you have to understand is Unless a woman, a girl has been raised in a family where there are entrepreneurs, they don't get it, and they don't understand the work that is that and the determination and the hours and the persistence that it takes to create a business and to maintain the business, run the business, and make the business successful. They have no clue at all. They're used to people just having a 9 to 5 and bringing home a paycheck. So what you're talking about is such a foreign concept to her. She doesn't get it because every single one of the guys that you're talking about has a job where they're getting a paycheck on the first and the 15th of the month. Yours money is dictated by the work that you put in. So she has no clue at all. It's really nice that you love this girl and all of that. So I'm going to suggest that before you consider splitting up, you sit down with her and have a heart to heart talk and explain what I just said and see if that helps her get a different focus and understanding. If she still doesn't get it, then you, for your own mental and emotional health, are going to have to find somebody else. You're going to have to find a woman who's got your back, who understands your struggle, and who's going to be there with you, helping you, make it better. As your wife, of course, don't be putting that envelope on a girlfriend. It's not her role. But you get married and you and the wife run the gas station together. You might get 2 gas stations. You expand the gas station, add a car wash, or I don't know, rent out part of it and have barbecue or burgers or something over there. I mean, I don't know what you want to do, but you can expand it so that it becomes more and better and greater later. But you need somebody who's going to believe in you to make that happen, not somebody who's going to think that you're nothing. Okay? You don't need to be around somebody who doesn't think that you're like the shit. Question number 24. Anyway, I'm very proud of you. Your parents should be very proud of you too. That's that you did some great work here, and I applaud your perseverance. Question number 24. Female, 26 to 29 from Phoenix. I'm seeing a guy who has no basic survival skills. He doesn't know how to cook or drive. He's almost what? He's almost spoiled from his early childhood. He has a household helper and a cook. Apart from these issues, he's a great guy. He's well educated, a great job, supremely open minded, loves television, and is an avid reader. Every time I ask him a survival based question, his answer is, I'll probably die. Or I have money, so I'll get out of that situation. He doesn't realize money isn't the answer to everything. This is so bizarre to me because I strive to equip myself with as many life skills as possible. He is inclined to learn anything new. Is this a red flag that I'll have to consider? I don't know. If he, my thing is this: is the shit done? Do you expect me to do it? The shit's done. Yes. Does he expect me to do it? No. Okay, for Deb, that's all there is. I don't give a fuck. He can hire 15 maids, a butler, a gardener. If he can hire everybody, all kind of folks, a whole village of people. As long as it's not coming out of my pocket and I don't have to lift a finger, I'm good with whatever decision he makes. And now you are sitting up there wasting time asking him survival questions. Why would you do that? Who has to worry about survival in our culture right now? What, you gonna be going off to the jungles in Indonesia or some shit? I mean, what? What is the point of this conversation that you're having that you're trying to charge him with all these crimes with? This is stupid, okay? You say he's a great guy, enjoying what he's got great, and he won't have your hands busting suds and shit, then what's the problem? He's going to make sure that everything's paid for so y'all can watch TV and read books together and talk about crazy, inane things. That's the lifestyle that you would lead with this man. You wouldn't need to worry about some struggle and survival because his money would take care of it. Because just like whatever you need, you can buy the check and buy it. Okay? I don't understand this line of questioning. You just looking for some bullshit to be upset about. That's what it sounds like to me. Question number 25. Ooh, my God. Female, 21 to 25 out of Miami. I recently got out of a long term relationship, and my female best friend has made some attempts to get at me, and I am unsure how to handle it, so I need some advice. I've always had a female best friend named Samantha. She is 23 and I am 22. Samantha dated my best friend for a minute, so she always seemed off limits to me in respect to my best friend in their past. However, since I had broken up with my girlfriend, I've been talking to Samantha often, and I've slept over at her apartment 5 or 6 times in the past couple of weeks. Some nights I can feel there is a heavy sexual tension. while other nights are much more chill. Samantha has made some moves towards me a few times, but I left every time because I was kind of nervous. I consulted with my good friend, her ex, and he said it would be fine with him if I tried to pursue her. Since I didn't act on these moves, Samantha has been trying to talk to many other guys, and it seems like she's trying to make me jealous. I'm unsure how to talk to her about this and figure things out without coming off as weird. I've lost a lot of my confidence since entering the single life, and I don't know how to confront her about these things since I've already messed up on taking hints earlier. Now I feel real confused and I need advice about what to do. Oh, that's it. What to do? You just leave her alone. I mean, dude, okay, no matter if your friend says it's okay or not, that's just nasty. It's like that's the only pussy in Miami is hers. That's the only one. You can't find nobody else that they've been already been fucked up fucked by your friend. You gotta go get sloppy seconds. That's what you telling me. This is gross and disgusting. This is a conversation that you never even should have had with dude. Okay, there's certain things you just don't do in this world, and go after one of your friends' exes is one of them. Okay, that's just nasty. I know a lot of women and a lot of beautiful women. So I don't know. And the dudes, oof, my God. Every time I used to go to Miami, I just want, uh, it's just, oof, my God. That's all I'm gonna say. But dude, um, she's thinking that you're not interested, and that's you're gonna let that stay that way. And if she ever asks you, if she ever gets up her nose, say, I like you as a friend, but I'm not trying to get busy with you or to get nothing going here because you was with my dude, my boy, and I'm not I don't do seconds. Yeah, I don't do seconds. And so, this it's unfortunate. If we had hooked up first, then we probably wouldn't have this problem. But this is the way it is. This is the reality, and I'm not going down that road. So if that's, too much for you to handle, then we'll just, cut ties. That's all you tell her. You don't have to call her nasty and desperate or, talk about how you didn't catch hints and she was throwing you play. Don't leave all that out. What you're just going to talk about is the fact that she's dated your friend. You just got a relationship, but you're really not ready. And then you don't want to do anything with somebody that your boy is just, no, don't do it. Okay. This is a good life lesson for you. Don't ever do anything like that again. Question number 26. This is the last one, huh? Or did she read misnumber something? Oh, yeah, that was 25. Okay, and this is the last one. Yay! Okay, female, 21 to 25 from Los Altos, California. I went out with a guy for a date that I met online. Ugh. It was a nice time. After a few drinks, we stopped at a bar to have a final drink. There was an attractive female bartender who talked to us, giving details about her personal life, including her on again and off again relationship with her boyfriend. And okay, let me just stop here and ask you what is wrong with you that you let that happen? Because, she going to keep talking and stuff. You supposed to say, don't you have some work to do? We're trying to be on a date, and it's hard to have a date for two when three people are here. Get lost. If we need something, we'll call you. Okay, that would be me. And it's like, and let's don't get crazy because then you won't get a tip. And I'll switch bartenders. And I'll report you to the manager. So you'll have a problem. So just do what I say, get the fuck out of my face. Go do your bartending thing. Mix some drinks or something. You're not supposed to be leaned on the bar talking to people about telling people all your business. Okay, that was your first mistake. So let's read on. Boundaries. Y'all, you didn't have any. I was done with that conversation after 20 minutes. This woman stayed there interrupting your date for 20 minutes and you didn't say nothing. She would have had like 30 seconds. But we stayed about an hour. She is attractive, but so am I. Unfortunately, I got an uneasy feeling that I couldn't put my finger on. The following weekend, my date set up a date with another couple to go to that same bar where this bartender works. We eat, and he says we should all get a drink at the bar and say hello to, quote, our friend we met last week, end quote. We all go over and have a drink, and then she came and proceeds to talk to this girl, and it was excessive, so much that the other couple we were out with noticed. Hmm. I don't know what to say. I'm not at all the jealous type. I don't know what to say, but I'm not sure I want to continue dating someone who is, at the very least, oblivious to me when in the presence of a pretty bartender, or worse, is trying to score a date with this woman while he's out with me. I think I need to address this. He asked me to go to a party at the home of a close friend of his next weekend. Besides this, he has been great. He did drink a lot, but that is no excuse. I don't act like that when I've had a few, and do not expect my partner to do that either. Please give me some advice on what to say to address this. I'm sincerely thinking about breaking this off. Oh, I would have. See, I don't have the kind of patience. Let me tell you how this would have gone if this was me. Okay, so I would have sent her away, right? Okay, so now the next time we go in there, he gonna go. He want to drag all four of us over there so he can have a conversation with the same girl. So then I would have said, well, obviously you want to be on a date with her, so I'm gonna leave. Thanks for the nice evening. It's nice meeting you two, the other couple, right? It's nice meeting you two. I'm out. And then I would have gone. One thing I'm not going to do is sit there and let somebody disrespect me in my face. Where they do that at? And him, depending on how he reacted, because he might have been shocked that you had enough gumption to stand up for yourself. It doesn't sound like he's used to having a woman who speaks up and has a backbone. So you just sat there quiet and just being disrespected and just taking it like it's okay. And the bartender says she's benefiting from it because he's flirting and buying drinks and giving her big tips and stuff. So of course she's gonna keep chatting with him because that's her money, right? She has a vested interest in that. You don't get any benefit from that. So there was no reason for you to stay there jaw jacking with him and while sitting there while he jaw jacks with the bartender. So that's what you have, what you want to say. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to say, I was very disappointed in how you behaved. You did this and you did that. And so I don't really want to go out with you. I'm not going to go with you to the party. And, I can just imagine more of that kind of disrespect. And I'm done. I tried to be understanding, much past my limit, which I probably shouldn't have done, but I did do it. I have no one to blame but myself. And at this point, I'm done. You can take your disrespect and your bartender that you want to talk to all the time, and y'all, you can stick it up your ass, and I hope you live happily ever after. Boop. And that's that. Yeah. I wouldn't do that. I'll tell y'all the story too. I love to tell stories. Okay, my husband, before we got married, right? We went on. Okay, this fool. Okay, he had this group coming into town. I won't go into too much details, but some older people and stuff, and they all had this one thing in common. So he was the whole, this Oakland was the whole city for this event, and so he, as he held a position in the organization, was like vice president or something like that. So he was when the host, so he had set up all the entertainment and all the stuff. So one evening he calls me and he's like, oh, I'm taking this group over to Fat Jimmy's. You guys know Jimmy's, and used to be in Oakland, and they had like an upstairs where you could reserve it. So he had reserved the upstairs. They had food, buffet out there, stuff that the organization had paid for and stuff. They had the little ropes and a security guard at each side, so only people, they had the little special wristband, could get up there and all this sort of stuff, right? So, so he tells me to come over and he's going to introduce me to these people. So I come, and I'm looking all cute and had on this little like short set, like a romper thing, and it was cut low in the back and short, like those little flutter shorts, and some high heel city sandals. I looked deliciously delectable. And so I strut my little self up in there, right? And he's like, "Ooh, look at you! You looking good." Blah blah blah. So he's all proud, right? He's showing me around, introducing all these people and everything, and all the wives are like, "Oh, you're so cute. He's so great. He's this and that. Blah blah blah." Okay, so after a few minutes, the music is jamming, right? And some of these older people going downstairs to dance, and they coming back up to sit down and have a snack. So I'm looking for this nigga. Where is this nigga? This nigga is on the dance floor. So upstairs, right? She's right over the dance floor. You can see, and he's dancing with some cow, some guy, and he all grinning and stuff, and he wasn't like up on her or nothing like that, but it still was so disrespectful. It's like, how are you gonna be dancing with somebody else and you invited me here? Have you lost your mind? So the couple that I was sitting with, right? They're looking and they said, "Oh, he in trouble, huh?" I said, "I'm leaving." So I got in my car and I went back home. He was blowing my phone up. Why you leave? Why you leave? It's like, what, you think I was gonna stay there and be treated like that? You out your rabbit ass mind. I'm not gonna do that. You invited me there. And so, plus you're gonna give me my money back for the door charge too. They charge, I don't know, I think it was $10 or something for me to go in there. And you gonna give me my fucking money back. So I wasted all my time getting dressed and coming down there, my gas and everything. I read in the right that made that nigga give me $20. And I was like, it's just a principle. And so he never did anything like that again. He was like, oh, when we went somewhere, he was like, okay, here's me and here's him. Here's me, here's him. Here's me, here's him. He stayed right on me after that, but I clowned him. And so it was so bad because all the couple told everybody what he had done. And that's why I wasn't there anymore. And they all the older guys, these were married men and stuff, and they was giving him reading him the riot act like, nigga, have you lost your mind? How you gonna do her like that? And so he was so humiliated by all these men, mature men that had class and style and knew how to treat a woman. And he acted so stupid like that. He's like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't understand. I like, I bet your ass understand now because he got straight clown. And every time we went on an event with them people after that, they was like, oh, you gonna dance with her first, right, huh? And he's like, yeah, yeah, come on, man, leave me alone. I learned my lesson, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, but this is the thing. I tell you, don't fight fire with fire because, the fire player with that would have been me going down there dancing with some other dude. I didn't want to do that. He got tired. He came upstairs looking for me. My ass was gone. And 30 men was in his face telling him about how trifling and stupid he was. That was the best flamethrower I could. They was flamethrowing his ass, and I was at home watching TV, relaxing with a glass of wine when the phone started ringing. And I'm just looking at it like, yeah, nigga, what? Oh yeah, girl, Diana, I'm telling you, see, you got to train them, and you don't train them by arguing with them and stuff. I can show you better than I could tell you. So I didn't say a word to him. I just left. Then they said he was looking everywhere for me. I was gone, and then he came upstairs, and they were like, "Oh yeah, she left a long time ago." I will never forget that. I fixed his ass. But anyway, that is how you do, young lady who wrote this last letter. That's how you do a man who you feel is disrespecting you, and you out on a date with him. You don't take that shit. You leave him there. Okay? And if he hadn't acted right, the stories I tell you about us being married and having the baby and all that old stuff, none of that would have happened because I would have fired him because I was done on that moment. But that nigga begged like there has never been begging before. And after that, he was, like Diana Prince said, Johnny on the spot. And we didn't have that problem no mo. So anyway, thank you guys for coming. Be sure if you are the parent of a teen that you roll in through here on Thursday. In the meantime, look at the show and send me an email with some issue that you may have, something you want to know how to tell your teen, or some problem your teen had. You don't know what the answer should be. I'm gonna answer your questions, but I need them in advance. I don't know if I feel like doing two spur of the moment shows in one week. But email it to survivingdating@gmail.com and make the subject line of your email teen dating show. And we will cover as many questions as we can on Thursday. Got to get these teens in order before they head off to high school and college because y'all parents are not doing what you need to be doing. I appreciate everybody stopping by and spending time with me. I'll see you all on Thursday.